Hello there. This is Darth Christensen, and I really didn't want to have to make this video, but shit has gotten really out of hand with the Acolyte recently. So I just found out through one of Star Wars Theory's newer videos that the Acolyte actually ended up costing $300 million to make. $300 fucking million. Really? A show? A show centered around characters that no one gives a shit about actually ended up costing more money than all six of the original movies combined? And Kenobi only gets like a $90 million budget? What the fuck is going on at Disney right now? It's just, the reason why this is concerning to me is because if you have been keeping up with Star Wars news recently, you know that The Acolyte was just a fucking horrible show. The Acolyte was just a fucking horrible show because it completely fucked up canon, and it completely wasted all of its potential to be a Sith show, but we literally don't get any Sith at all. All we get is just a 5-second cameo from Plagueis. And it also makes the Jedi look like incompetent douchebags. And it also makes the Jedi look like incompetent douchebags. So that's why it makes absolutely no sense. Hence why I think why this show ended up costing like $210 million more than Revenge of the Sith, which Revenge of the Sith was made in 2005, but George Lucas made sure that it was shot correctly because he shot Revenge of the Sith. He shot the prequels with digital cameras, and I think it looks great, and I think it still looks great today, and I still think it looks great today. But at the Acolyte, the sets on that show just didn't look like Star Wars at all. It just looked way too much Earth-like, and there was even a point where the Jedi ended up using fucking metal detectors. It's just, I just don't understand how Disney keeps allowing this much money going towards the wrong projects. It's just like, they don't know what they're fucking doing, man. And I can already hear the mob of fans calling me racist or misogynistic for not liking the Acolyte. But here's the thing: Star Wars fans do love female characters. They full on embrace his characters of all different species, gender, her race. It's all of that. Like, look at characters like Ahsoka. Look at characters like Ahsoka, Padme, Leia, Shin Hati, lots of other characters. And you want to know why Star Wars fans love these characters, me specifically? It's because they're all well written and they have personalities, and they respect the rules that George Lucas followed. Because Ahsoka's an amazing character. And she's definitely one of my top favorite female character in all Star Wars. And Padme, of course, is iconic because she's Anakin's lover. And Shin Hati's awesome because she's a very interesting Dark Jedi Padawan to Balin, and also she's so fine. but you know, compare her those amazing characters. Compare those amazing characters to like the dog shit twin characters in the Acolyte. Like May and Osh are just not interesting at all. And plus, they completely fuck up Anakin's story by being two Force babies created through the Force. Who the fuck allowed that horrible ass script to be allowed to Lucasfilm? Because having these two twin hens being born through the Force before Anakin was even created is just blasphemous. It's just blasphemous. Especially me, who is a huge Anakin Skywalker fanboy. He's my favorite character in all of Star Wars. I will not fucking tolerate any slander for the Chosen One prophecy. Whether that comes from him shills who just want to deny all the facts and keep defending the show, or her just comes from Disney just not knowing shit about lore. Jesus Christ. And not only that, but like going back to what I said earlier about how making the Jedi look like incompetent douchebags, they also just randomly insert Ki-Adi-Mundi in the show, and he knows about all these Jedi dying, but yet he doesn't tell the council, which that just goes completely against Ki-Adi-Mundi's character because he was a teacher's pet for the Jedi, basically. He was basically a teacher's pet for the Jedi, and he also he would never lie to people. He would never lie to the Jedi Council about all this, especially since he's the one who said that the Sith have been extinct for a millennium. So it's just as you can tell, I really do not like the Acolyte show at all. I think it's probably, apart from the sequels, I think it's probably the worst thing think it's probably the worst thing Disney has ever done, apart from like Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi. But honestly, at this point, I think I would actually rather watch The Last Jedi instead of Rise of Skywalker. And here's another thing: is that the sequels did have a fucking huge budget, but it makes sense because they're really good looking movies. And as much as I don't like as much as I hate the sequels, I have to admit that they're at least visually beautiful. That they're at least visually beautiful, and that they actually do kind of feel like Star Wars. But the Acolyte just doesn't, and the Acolyte actually pissed me off even more because it had so much potential to be a show about the Sith, but you fucking blew it and you instead made it about these boring ass twins. So yeah, that's why I'm pissed off about how the Acolyte getting a $300 million budget, even higher than Kenobi, and the prequels, which I have a hard time believing. I have a hard time believing that show that looked like shit had a higher budget than Kenobi, because Kenobi actually looked a lot better than this. Same with the prequels, because the prequels are George Lucas changed filmmaking. George Lucas changed the history of filmmaking with the prequels, and that's why part of the reason why they're so revolutionary. So it's just, I really hope that shit gets better at Disney, which it probably won't, but as long as we have people who actually understand and respect the lore of Star Wars, like Dave Filoni, Sam Witwer, Jon Favreau, and the dude that wrote the original script for the Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy, he was a passionate fan too. Dave Filoni, Sam Witwer, Jon Favreau, and Stuart Beatty, those guys are real fans and they actually understand the lore of Star Wars. So that's why most of the projects they make are absolutely amazing. They just can't stop. They just can't keep hiring dumbasses like Leslie Headland who just fundamentally don't know shit about Star Wars. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little rant about me shitting all over the Acolyte. It's just something I really had to get off my chest because this show was just terrible, and the show is just terrible. And I think just Disney's just spending all their money on all the wrong things, in my opinion. They have made some good things, but and I don't know, man. It just seems like Anakin said, I have to admit, my trust in them has been shaken. But I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. Have a good one, and may the Force be with you, always.